Look, listen, if you had one cut or one edit or one opportunity um, to decide what you're going to eat for that day, uh, would you capture it or just let it slip? Uh, anyways, so here's an old picture I found. I really don't know. I think I might have been 15 in that picture. I just don't know. I would zoom in. It's a Guitar Hero David. I don't know. Well, I can show what it looks like now over there. It's the place that it is a long time ago. Anyways, just a quick monologue here. Um, well, um, all right. Okay, so I just had seen this in my YouTube recommended feed, and that was a really key moment considering like 5 years ago, I read an article that Aaron Paul is the highest paid celebrity. He's like close to a billionaire or something like that. There's an article about it. And just watching this audition tape for his quote unquote big break into TV or whatever, the largest source material, in my opinion, of Breaking Bad, because of all the promotions, the promotional things, it shows Aaron Paul and Walter White, aka, I don't know, I'm just drawing a blank on his name, dressed in like head to toe, kind of like people working in like a clean room. I don't know, just a protective suit, not radioactive, but chemical suit. The show's all about chemistry. And anyways, I saw the earliest image that I saw of that was one of the first vloggers from the 90s using just like an old-fashioned camera, was Ricardo Lopez. So that's some stuff that, I don't know, just it's a really heavy topic. He looks like Darth Maul also. He recorded these vlogs before the release of the Star Wars with Darth Maul. Anyways, I didn't plan on mentioning that stuff. I'm just drawing a blank on what I was going to say. Oh, my hair, right? So I was checking out my hair and how it looks like Aaron Paul's hair in that audition. And when I was looking at it, it was kind of like, it's like the Sonic from the Sega Genesis video game. And, I mean, that's all. Okay, one more thing about this haircut that I had here. I had first seen the movie Goodfellas, I think, when I was 14 or 15. I watched it with my mom and dad. They were like, David, you're finally old enough to learn about the movie Goodfellas. And Joe Pesci's hairstyle as Tommy Two Guns in Goodfellas kind of looks like this. I don't know if I could still pull that off. I could try. I'm a hell of a lot greasier, that's for sure, all these years later. So I guess the other opening to this video was, do you have a moment that I can speak to you about Britney Spears? One more thing. Let me finish up on this. The quote, are the same quotes from the TV show, if I remember right. About, I have to add in the sound. He says, he's like, you're like 50 and now all of a sudden you want to try to be like a gangster or something? He's trying to shame Walt into becoming the villain, who's, the villain of the story. One of the easiest ways to understand Breaking Bad was consider the events of the show in reverse. So it starts out with Walt and Jesse over here in the beginning, and by the end of season 4 and 5, it was such a enthralling, compelling, captivating show that by the season 4 and 5, when it was over, I said I'm never watching another TV show again. I was like tripping out, like waiting for the next episodes, like what's gonna happen. And I sort of just, it's like, why don't I just write my own story the way I want? I don't, this stuff. I'm so like concerned about these fictional characters, like, and I don't understand why other people aren't the same way. I mean, just write your own story. People get upset about the way some fictional thing happens. Okay, so he tries to shame Walt Whitman or Walter White into not becoming a criminal. And I don't know how well shame works. Shame is like one of the most commonly applied. It's not practical. It doesn't work. People still do shame. So I'm sort of, I was watching that and I realized it'd be the same exact, it would be the perfect speech to send in a video mail to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Last week or this week, I learned that my dad Dale and Vladimir Putin, not only do we have the same exact letters in our last name, Petrino and Putin, they're pronounced differently. My dad and he were born in October '52, and that's kind of exciting to me because, or not exciting. My parents have started doing their own research online, and I'm kind of astounded. In the last 5 years or so, they've started doing research online, and I think that's, I can appreciate. I think everyone should do that. There's just so much information out there. It needs the more the merrier. So the guy Lynn Wood, I was trying to explain to my dad. I'm like, Dad, you're listening to a speech of Lynn Wood, and you're like a few days older than him. Like you're his elder. Like you should be telling him what to think. And it's the same with my dad was born October 1st, and President Putin was born like October 6th, 1952, the same year. And that's significant to me because, according to Wikipedia, Leonardo da Vinci and Amerigo Vespucci, Amerigo, where America gets its name, the Americas, the New World, quote unquote. Vespucci was born the year 1452, and then Da Vinci was born 14. I had that mixed up. My mom was born 1954, like Vespucci born 1454, and my dad was born 1952, like Da Vinci was born. Leonardo da Vinci was born 1952. So the name Da Vinci is a whole lot like Michelangelo, who created the statue of David, like Da Vinci, in like 1414, like almost 50 years before. And that's significant because it is in Florence, where Florida gets its name, and a lot of other things. Maybe the name Flores, I don't know. Vespucci's from Florence, as well as someone else, like a couple of like really significant people. What makes them so significant, I'm gonna turn off the camera for a second. It's warming up outside, therefore it's warming up inside. Catch Me Inside, how about that? The name of David Spade's new comedy special. So, where was I? Dig into my brain as the rhyme gets chosen. Nothing there. Like on Mr. Show, that sketch when the guy's trying to get change for $1, and it goes all the way up the chain to the president of the company. He's like, oh, change for $1. Mr. Show has stars Bob Odenkirk from Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, Saul Goodman, Bob Odenkirk, and David Cross. Those are two guys from Mr. Show on HBO. The sketch is called Change for $1. Oh, it goes from like a guy just goes to like a bodega. He's like, can I get change for $1? I have to make a phone call. And then the guy like picks up his phone and calls his manager, the boss, the owner, and it goes all the way up to the guy at the company on a golf course. He has to call. He's like, I gotta call the president, whatever. So now, fast forward a couple of decades later, it's really not outrageous, the idea of just recording a quick video, email, and sending it to a politician, something that was completely not possible in the 1800s, 1900s. It would have been like a shameful thing to even attempt. To attempt to write a letter to Premier Gorbachev of the Soviet Union and mail it to him in Russia, it's like, I don't know, I don't think a lot of people would have done that in like the 1980s. Now with video mail and voicemail, I don't know why more people don't get on that. So it would be really funny if, especially in Russian, if I tried to recreate this scene here of what he says.
It's all, it doesn't compute. I mean, if you're crazy, his ass, was it? Yeah, some stray like you with a giant stick up his ass, all of a sudden at age, what, 50? He's just gonna break bad?
I'm 41.
So she's repeating the lines of Walter White. He's like, you're like 50 or whatever. And he's like, no, I'm 41. And anyway, so both my dad and Putin and Lynn Wood are about to turn 70. They're all three of them are 69. And to send a video mail to Russian President Putin saying, you're like 70, and all of a sudden you want to, break bad and try to start the Third World War? Are you stupid or what? Right? Using some Robert De Niro quotes. Anyways, so that's all for that. And then I was already, before I made this video about that, I was already gonna speak about this. This is a Eminem fan channel, and a lot of people follow it. We found out that it's run by a Russian lady, very nice Russian lady. And we found out that last year, and now she's added in. So I think this might be the greatest way to consume people's tweets and stuff, is to have a Russian lady speak with a Russian accent the tweet in question. So it's Britney Spears praising Eminem. And so what Eminem is, his first song is Hi. My name is Hi. I included that in one of my videos. Like the dance move, the secret dance move of that is like Hi. Hi. It's like doing like shoulders up and like eyebrows up. Hi. At the same time. Hi. My name is. Anyways, Marshall Mathers, he gets his name from Marcus Martialis, Roman poet of the 1st century AD. And so when he says, my name is Chicker Chicker, one of Martialis, who he was dissing in his not tracks, but there are these little tiny books called epigrams in the 1st century, 2,000 years ago. He was like, he was dissing someone named Tungly Anus. And what's so funny about that is that's where like ghillie suit comes from, and the Iliad. That's where the Iliad likely is sort of secretly, obscurely related to this guy Tungly Anus. And so to change out the lyrics of Eminem's My Name Is Tungly Anus. So that's the whole joke there. Britney Spears is a similar thing. Because she's a southern woman, her stuff ought to be spoken with a southern accent. Like Lynyrd Skynyrd is the only band that has the built-in accent. So Sweet Home Alabama in their songs. I exaggerated it for effect. Britney's pears. It's like Britney's pears. Like as if she had a farm for pears. And I could send this video to her. What's the problem? I don't know why more people don't do this. In fact, I would assume that everyone is mostly talking to celebrities when they make stuff online, because celebrities, I think, music especially before the internet, the biggest consumers of music are musicians themselves. Not only are they looking for something, ideas, but they just love music. Like musicians love music more than anyone else. And so celebrities, likewise, are likely spend most of their time online. With this headset, I was able to I was able to like quadruple or more the amount of stuff that I can always, no matter what I'm doing. And a big key to it is this contraption on the top that I made of the plastic that comes with the headset, so that if it gets crimped at all, I mean, it ruins the whole headset. But the speakers are just right. They're not too big. They're not too small. And with the volume booster, it makes music great. Britney's Pears. Anyway, so that's the whole thing there. Her song, Give Me More, is the song that spawned some of the earliest YouTube content of Leave Britney Alone, Chris, I can't think of his name right now, the YouTube channel, the big meme. So Britney Spears' Give Me More song, I don't know if it was written by her or not, or I'm not even going to say you, I'm just going to say her. Anyways, her song was very closely related to Busta Rhymes' Give Me Some More. Give me some more, and then she just says, give me more. And it's very related to Demi Moore, however, all the hard work that Demi Moore did to, all the work that people did making her into a celebrity, it was kind of cashed in on. And Britney Spears, even though Britney Spears was ultra famous with this song, Give Me More, she, that's one of the secrets to making good stuff is like, basing it on or like originating it from something, the source material. And Marcus Marsalis, his stuff, like the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity quote, diss track, diss epigram is like incredibly, even IHOP has like a meal named after it. What else? So, I forgot my book. I was supposed to have my book. I mentioned how Eminem is a fan of Robert Greene. I am just implying that a lot of his songs are most like Robert Greene books, The 48 Laws of Power, first in the trilogy of Power and War and Seduction. One of his chapters has, it talks about create compelling fantasies. And, a lot of media is fantastic and fantasies. And he shows the reality versus the fantasy. It's always better to appeal to the fantasy rather than the reality. But the reality is that celebrities are, I don't know what. They watch a lot of internet videos, I would just imagine. Even Mark Zuckerberg, I would imagine, watches a ton of YouTube. Spends most of his time on YouTube, I would just imagine. I think he said something similar to that. Anyways, so what she did was, she sort of subtly, in my opinion, I'm not trying to read her mind, she says, made me feel like I was 17 again, right here. And that's a Zac Efron movie. And Robert De Niro in my newsfeed was trending for some odd reason. The most watched thing of his on Netflix is the Zac Efron and Robert De Niro movie. Of course, he's known for Italian mob movies. Is Bad Grandpa. And so the movie that's closest to that is with Johnny Knoxville. Yet the person who I think is the bad grandpa that Robert De Niro is supposed to be pretending to be, kind of like in Meet the Fockers movie with Ben Stiller, is Sammy the Bull Gravano. Okay, so the easiest way to understand Sammy the Bull is his interview with Diane Sawyer. Diane Sawyer had a sit-down interview with Charles Manson, maybe the guy who shot MLK, infamous people. And then here's Sammy the Bull also. And guys who are never getting out of prison. And then he's the guy who did get out of prison. So anyways, the sit down between Sammy the Bull and Diana Stewart, or Diana, what is her name? Diana Ross? Diana Sawyer. Um, Diane Sawyer from ABC News. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know what news network she works for. It's just like in the 90s, around the time of this interview, the music video of Coolio and Michelle Pfeiffer in the Gangster's Paradise song that was created for um, the movie name, gang related, no, where she's a teacher at a low income urban setting. There's a few movies like that, like The Substitute and stuff. Anyways, that interview plays out just like the song Gangster's Paradise, Coolio. Um, what else does she say here?
Formative years. Wow, Eminem last night at the Super Bowl. He should have had way more.
So it's sort of a lot of effort to read a tweet versus I just have this video playing in the background and I have my phone in my pocket. I'm just hearing her say what is being written by Britney Spears. And it's the greatest way to consume tweets. I don't mess with Twitter a whole lot unless something's trending.
More time. He was everything to me when I was younger, and it was so weird in the first 2 seconds I saw him on stage last night.
So 17 again is the main thing. That's Zac Efron movie, who was in Bad Grandpa with De Niro. And the bad grandpa is supposed to be Salvatore, aka Sammy, quote unquote, the bull, Gravano. Anyways, he also has a joke built into his name. It's the grave. What else? So I just wanted to explain Eminem's "Lose Yourself" song. I made a video last year saying how it's very hard to hear. Most of the time he says "you better" in a certain way that it just sort of goes over everyone's head. But there's one particular part in the video. It's really brief when he says "you better." It's like he's like, "No, you better," and it's like the Who's, not Pete Townsend, Roger Daltrey. Lead singer, when he says "you better, you better, you bet" in that song. And what's so funny about that song is there's one brief part of the song when he says kind of like in Hotel California, stab it with the steely knives, but they can't kill the beast. Like how would it be possible to choreograph that dance move? Stab it with the steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. It's a quote similar to that in the song. So in a lot of ways, the Who's "You Better" song is like one of the first rap songs. I would just imagine that Eminem's mother, Debbie Mathers, had a crush on Roger Daltrey, because my mom never goes to concerts. She swore off music in the 1980s before I was born, and yet she still has signed up to go to Roger Daltrey's concert when he comes around with his, I don't think he's still with the band, The Who, whatever band he's with. So Roger Daltrey, I don't know, I got beef with Roger Daltrey. I'm just joking. Eminem his real dad might be Roger Daltrey. This stuff is super weird. Getting into the personal details of celebrities and stuff. Anyways, so that's enough of a video. One of the best takeaways that I would try to remember of my own journals is in Eminem's song, he says, "Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity." And it's sort of like the fantasy versus reality sections of 48 Laws. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity. So snap back to reality. Here, everything is just a fantasy. Everyone's selling a fantasy here, And by paying attention to what the reality is, rap music was called reality rap at one point. That's what it is. It's reality music, where most all music is fantasy versus rap music. So kind of like nonfiction books, such as 48 Laws of Power and stuff. And what else? So the whole idea of the Lose Yourself song is kind of like the Loser Express when combining NWA's Express Yourself plus Eminem's Lose Yourself. Makes the Loser Express, like a train to nowhere or something. And and what else? The whole idea is now, even in the 90s, they probably had something like rhymezone.com. The fantasy is that rappers they're just freestyling against each other. They are able to make up rhymes on the fly like that. There's somewhat of a reality to that. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of effort. Yet we have tools like rhymezone.com or dictionary.com with antonyms and synonyms. So another word for the first word of the song is look. It says look. What people say, what people mean when they say look, they mean listen. It's like you can look, but you have to listen to what I'm saying to understand the words, right? You have to look at the definition, look up in a dictionary. Like in the early chapters of 48 Laws, is say less than necessary. That's a harsh way of saying something nicer, like choose your words wisely. First have to understand the words before you can speak them and stuff. What else? Yeah, so it's a comedy song. It says you only have one shot or one opportunity. What he means is, like, you only have one opportunity in your lifetime, which is true. It's just a harsh way of saying, like, each word has another word that it symbolizes. Because each word is a symbol, like create compelling spectacles using symbols, one of the 48 Laws. Each word is a symbol, but itself resembles and symbolizes something else. Like, I was emailing yesterday, and I don't know, going to look up the definition of a word, such as posterity, I think, or prosperity. Going to look up the word, what does prosperous mean? It kind of sounds like phosphorus, the chemical. And in the definition, it's just a road to nowhere. It says, the state of being prosperous is what it means to be prosperity. It's like, who in their right mind could accept that is a reasonable answer? You're just going to tell me the same word in that definition of it? So it's kind of like following the trail of words to find ultimate meaning. The most sacred word, in my opinion, is the word you, because it symbolizes, the opposite of you is I, the word I, me, myself, and I, or whatever. So when I'm looking at someone, that's you. If you didn't have a word, it would just be what I'm doing now. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. That's you. And attention is the origin of everything, of creation and destruction even. So I guess that's all. I was telling my parents, it's like, yeah, I sent Gorbachev. Gorbachev's almost 90 years old. I sent him a video. I said, it's about time, Mr. Gorbachev, or it's about, or this wall needs to be rebuilt, Mr. Gorbachev. Making fun of Ronald Reagan's. It's a good speech. I want to take his whole 5-minute speech at the Berlin Wall and translate it into Russian. And my mom's like, you sound like you're a communist. But it's like, I'm joking. Like like I'm making a mockery of what Reagan said in the 80s because it's funny. Anyways, I don't think, as far as politicians go, that people used to make fun of how Reagan was just a TV personality, and he was a movie star, actually, more correctly, and he became a president. He leveraged all his movies and fame there into being a president of the United States. Famously, one of the 33 strategies of war, Robert Greene, is it takes the ordinary to make something extraordinary. So former President Donald Trump was just an ordinary television personality. He was somewhat extraordinary. He comes from a very extraordinary family. He was just another TV personality to me, personally, until he announced his run for president, and it was like, wow, that's very extraordinary. And the third guy, I would say, would be the best bet, if we're talking about living in the 90s or something. The best bet of that would be, can't think of his name right now. He's in Babe, Pig in the City, the Disney movie. And he looks just like Don Bonanno, one of the 5 families in New York Italian-American mob. Don Bonanno. He looks just like him. I mean, looks just like him. And a lot of his movies are great. They're underrated. I would say I can't remember his name right now. Oh, it's like one of the most significant people in United Kingdom history, Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell is the guy. Is the reason that we have government like Parliament versus only kingdoms. And another thing, the word subject is kind of comparable to a citizen in something that's not a kingdom. The whole idea was we rebelled against being a subject. That's the whole reason we have the United States of America, and we're citizens instead. We're not subjects. And former President Obama said a citizen is the most powerful person in the world. Much more, they're on par with royalty compared to a subject. No disrespect to just the average people of kingdoms. But being the subject, what it means is it's like the word you. We have freedom of speech in America. A lot of countries don't. And they're not allowed to just kind of carelessly throw around the word you. And so in America, we have a lot, it's like comical. Some of the cultural stuff that we have in America that is very, it's royal, but it's like more like being a subject. People love to be treated like a subject of royalty when they hear the word you. It's enthralling, it's captivating, it's hypnotizing. Anyways, I don't remember what, I think that's all. That was a heavy subject there to talk about, and I can't remember what I was talking about before that. I was talking about Cromwell, James Cromwell. Yeah, definitely check out his movies. He would have been a great president. He's about the same age as former president of Soviet Union, Gorbachev. So that's all. Yeah, and also check out the movie Gordy. That I think the movie Babe, Pig in the City originates from. In early 1980s, Don Bonanno was on the news report where it shows him like kissing his dog or kissing his dog on the face, and that's the big scene in Babe, Pig in the City is when James Cromwell, who looks just like Don Bonanno, kisses the pig. And also check out the movie Gordy that I received as a present growing up in the 90s. So that's all.